So we're fixing to put the trim on the top of the door, right along this edge here. So as you can see, it's got a thin blade of metal that stands up here. You can see other layers of metal have been stamped together to help the rigidity of the door as well as give guides for the window. So you want to make sure you get that right down on top of that seam. And also, right down there, it's going to have to be tucked in right underneath this rubber flap here for the mirror. So of course we want to be careful not to scratch any paint while we're doing this, because there are a few kind of bare spots on the piece of trim that goes down here for clamping around. So like I said, we want to be careful not to scratch the paint as we're pushing it down on top of there. Here's a channel like I talked about. It's going to actually slide over the top of that piece of metal. And here's where I'm talking about a little bit of bare metal on the end there. So you want to be careful not to catch the car with that and scratch it all up. This side here with the rubber grommet on the end, you know, don't really have to worry about it too much. But still, you know, be careful when you're putting these on. While these are off, I went ahead and took a chance to clean them up real good. So as you can see, took a nice cleaning compound, nothing abrasive, just a little soap and water. Cleaned them off real good to get the residue and dirt. This will help, especially if you hear any kind of scratching noises as your window's going up and down. Most likely what it is this felt section here, or maybe even the rubber like mine were, has some old years of dirt kind of packed on there, so it's kind of scratching across the window as it goes up and down. This is the section that will go in on the passenger side up underneath that trim by the mirror. As you can see, there's a little bit of glue here, kind of a sticky substance that we'll have to reapply some more before we put it on. And this here, it's just like some material that never really gets hard. It's just gummy. You can see it kind of leaves a residue on my finger when I do that. But we'll be applying a little bit more of that as we cram them back in there and seal that up. Alright, so we're going to put it on here. Like I said, you want to guide it. Start it just a little bit behind this piece here. So as I said, we're going to put it behind here. So we're going to kind of slide it down just a little bit, and then we're going to slide it into that nook right there. And then we're going to look back here. Make sure that we're coming down in the right position here, even with the door. And you just simply push it down on that wedge all the way down. Once again, like my trim around the windshields, I do have a little bit of residue still in a couple of places that kind of helped me line things up. Unfortunately, this car had a really bad wax job or two and still has a little bit of that left over. And there you go. Every piece of trim back on and ready to guide the window.